Good morning, everyone. Happy Supercharged Manifesting Monday. Welcome to the start of a brand new week. It's a little gray and cold and not very Florida today, so I am adapting, but it's still Monday, and I'm excited to be here with all of you. So I'm going to wait for you all to join here over on this side on Facebook and YouTube. When you join, I love seeing that you all are here and just jumping in and saying good morning and giving love to each other. Good morning, Instagram friends. Hey, Sandra, you're up really early. Hey, Nads, morning. Good morning. All right, so this conversation this morning is about time, wealth, and success. And I will just say that this is going to be one of those conversations that is really just meant to open your awareness, have you think for a little bit, have you see some of the ways, sometimes I say the conversation either steers towards here's how to do the things so you can manifest and create the wealth, the life, the fun, all the things that you enjoy with speed. And then sometimes a conversation is here's what you're doing that might be getting in the way, slowing you down, impacting, the process of manifesting, because we're always manifesting. We're always creating, period, end of story, whether you're asleep or awake, whether you're actively doing something or not, we are always manifesting. And so the conversation this morning, that's right. Happy money manifesting day. Happy start of a new week. The conversation this morning is specifically though around time. And so I just want to ask a question before we get started. I assume that if you are part of this family, if you're part of our wealth and our money family, that you have a desire to express and experience different levels of what most people call financial freedom. I like to say wealth, right? That's my new term this year. I'm not talking about being rich. I'm not talking about having money freedom, financial freedom, none of it. I am talking about wealth. And so I'm taking our consciousness to the highest point that we can process what we really are capable of having and experiencing. And so I'm going to use wealth and multimillionaire interchangeably this morning. So I'm assuming that if you're here, you have the desire to become, to express, to experience the life and lifestyle of having enough wealth that you are able to choose what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, with who you want to do it. And another way of saying that is being a multimillionaire. So is that a yes? Do you have the desire, like type and let me know in the chat, do you have the desire to experience the life and lifestyle of a multimillionaire? And really, that's just one way of defining it, which I still think is very limited. I would rather say to experience wealth as defined by you, right? Because it might take me $829 million to express and experience my personal definition of wealth. It might take somebody else $1 billion. It might take somebody else 3 million. So it's according to you. I'm seeing a ton of yeses. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, great. So now let's be honest with ourselves. How much time do you believe, whatever your definition of wealth is, whatever your number is that you are, dreaming of, desiring to create and express, be honest with yourself in answering this question. How much time do you believe? Not how much time do you think? There is a difference. How much time do you believe in your heart and soul, in the depth of your subconscious mind, if you can pull it to your awareness right now, do you believe it will take for you to create, manifest, receive that goal or that intention? What is the time that you are processing that it will take for you to experience that? So I want you to pull to your awareness. You know what? When I think about the lifestyle that I desire, if I'm being honest with you, I want to think it can happen at any given moment. But the truth is, I know that my belief level is, so Lauren says 5 years. Lauren in the chat on Facebook says 5 years. So those of you that are in Instagram, YouTube, wherever you're watching live, I want you to just think and give me what's in your awareness right now. Just tap into your belief. What am I believing in terms of time that it will take for me to experience the level of wealth? Okay. So I see Alita says instantaneous. I believe it can happen in the blink of an eye. Christy says 2 years, 1 year. I'm attempting to process the same day. My subconscious mind is saying about 5 years. Okay. So Tanya says now, 3 to 5 years, 1 year, 1 to 3 years now. Okay, great. A lifetime. Sarah says, I think it will take a lifetime. I imagine another 15 years, hopefully much less, 3 years, but living it in the now. Awesome. So I love that there's a range, there it goes from, the answers go from now to, it looks like the furthest I've seen is 15 years, right? That's as far, I don't think there's anyone else. 5 years. So I know here's a reason why I asked you the question in the way that I did. We are all aware that we can manifest instantaneously. All of us know that. And remember, during the 5-day Wealth with Ease activation, I said, many of us know things. We know it logically, but subconsciously, we believe something else. And that's where we talked about cognitive dissonance, cognitive bias, your reticular activating system, like really getting into a process of such depth of self-mastery that your subconscious mind starts to tell you and bring on the screen of your awareness, this is actually what you believe. I know you think this, and I know you know this, but this here is what you actually believe. And you always know what you believe by looking at the results that you have in your life. That's why it's not rocket science, right? So I found for me, and I'll speak personally, I have read so many books. I have done so many programs. I've done it. I know it. I know it to be true. I mean, I have an entire library filled with the knowing, but then I realized that there was this gap between what I knew and what my subconscious mind believed. And I started to see the gap by looking at the results. And one of the things was time. So for many of us, and you can just feel if this feels relevant, because it might not be relevant for you, but feel if it feels relevant or true for you. For many of us, and myself included, I realized that I had a deep subconscious belief that if I wanted great success and great wealth, it was going to take a long time. Not only did I believe it was going to be hard, it was going to be strenuous, it was going to take a lot of effort, but the thing that I wasn't paying attention to was, what did I really believe about the time that it would take? Right? And so what I learned as I started to excavate my subconscious mind around this was that I genuinely believed, like that equation was massive wealth, the larger the number, the longer the time, right? And yes, I read every book that says you can manifest in an instant. However, what I believed was completely different. And so I want to bring this conversation to your awareness, because I want you to look at what are the agreements that you have about wealth and time? What are the agreements that you have subconsciously about wealth and time? For me, I realized that I had an agreement that the bigger the number, the longer the time, or not only the more effort. I knew that. And I think a lot of us know that. The bigger the number, the more effort, the more hard work, the more we have to figure out, all that. I think a lot of us are very aware of that, but I don't think as many of us are aware about how much time. I don't even think we're thinking about what we think about it. Right? I don't think we've actually ever sat and thought about, what do I think about that? What do I think about how much time this is going to take? So we're writing our intentions and we're doing all the things, and we might even write a date. We might even say, you know what, in the next 6 months, in this next year, this is what I want to manifest. But then you start writing bigger numbers, and if it's not manifesting with the speed and in the time that you want, then you have to start looking at, well, do I have a separate agreement? Do I have a deeper subconscious belief that is not in alignment with this? That is right. It's like it's not in um it is a cognitive dissonance, or it's a cognitive bias. Like, I truly think I know this to be true, but I have deeper subconscious agreements that are not in alignment with it. So, and we know everything is energy. So if you have split energy about something, you can see how it impacts your manifested. It's going to impact the results that you have. And I remember one of our clients, Brittany, came to work with me, and she said, Tasha, I want to do your program, because I think she was 32, 31 or 32 at the time. And she said, I want to do your program because my big life goal is to retire from nursing when I'm 40 years old. And I was like, wait a second, you're like, how? I think she might have been 33, because I remember saying to her, that's 7 years from now. You want to come do the program now because you want to create a result 7 years from now. You want to start living your dream. That was in essence what she was saying. I believe that it's going to take me 7 years to put everything in place so that at 40 years old I can retire from nursing and start to run my business. And I just remember asking her, well, why wouldn't we just agree that you can do it now? Like, you can do it this year. And it had never occurred to her that that was an option, that sooner was an option. Literally, her logical mind was so running the show that it made her aware that she was believing she needed 7 years to put things in place so she could retire from nursing and start her business. And so, as I was writing my notes for this, I remember I just sat there thinking, my gosh, this woman has now launched her business, done retreats all over the world, like teaching all kinds of different classes, doing all kinds of amazing things. What I have seen her do in the 7 years has been incredible, instead of waiting 7 years, right? And so I just wanted to bring that up and bring that conversation to the surface this morning, because time is relative. Time is relative. The rate at which time passes, depends on your frame of reference. This is Einstein's theory of relativity. So he says, we think of time as tick tock, like a second, another second, another second, another second. And so we think of time passing according to a clock that we say this is the amount of time that has passed. But according to Einstein's theory of relativity, the rate at which time actually passes depends on your frame of reference. Have you ever been doing something that you absolutely just got lost in time? And when you came back to the awareness, it was like, oh my gosh, where did the time go? Oh my gosh, that felt like 5 minutes. It was, you were just so lost in time. But when you look at your clock, it was hours, right? Or have you ever been doing a HIIT workout that says it's 10 minutes, but it feels like an hour, right? And so it's relative. And one of the things that I heard recently that I just wanted to share as part of this conversation was in my running group, when one of the beautiful women said, we were talking about this, how much time do you think it's going to take for you to start to get something done, or for you to get to a certain level of running, or anything else that you have in your life that you want to see a result in, and time is involved. And she said the most powerful thing that day, which I have not forgotten. She said, the task will adapt to the time you give it. Remember, Einstein says time is relative. Time is relative. It depends on your frame of reference. And so think about this for a second. The task will adapt to the time you give it. My most famous, like heartfelt, one of my favorite things to say is, you are the one who decides. You are the one who decides. And with time, if you are deciding it's going to take a long time, then it will take a long time. If you are deciding this amount of wealth requires this much time, then that's what you're going to experience in your life. And so there's the piece of manifesting, which is you deciding, you asking, right? Remember, I always talk about manifesting in three parts. There is part one, which is asking and taking inspired action. There's a piece in the middle, which is how, which also includes time, right? None of those we have control over. And then there's the end part, which is receiving. But if you are painting your ask with time, if when you're asking, you're also saying, and I am agreeing, I am deep in my subconscious mind agreeing that it should take this much time. That's part of my ask. Then you are asking with a condition that implies a lengthy period of time. Now, we don't know. It can happen in an instant. It can happen tomorrow. It can happen in 3 years. We don't, the how in the middle is God's part. That's not our part. And those of you that are Neville Goddard fans, you know he talks about the bridge of incidents, the time, the piece in the middle. We don't know when, we don't know how. That part we don't get to control, but we fully get to use our free will to ask, to take inspired action, and to receive. The piece on the front and the piece on the end. The piece in the middle, not our part. But just like if you're asking from lack, right? Then how it manifests and what you receive will be a reflection of how you asked. Just like if you're asking too small, then how it manifests and what you receive will be a reflection of that. Same thing if you're asking with time conditions where you have a deeper belief that it's going to take this much time, then how it manifests and how you receive is going to reflect the way you ask around time. So I want to just remind you, and I want everyone to type so that you remind yourself, I am the one deciding, right? I am the one deciding. And so if or let me put it this way, what I want to do is I want to take my decision about time out of the equation. I want to be crystal clear in my ask. I don't want to limit myself in any way with time, right? So I am the one who decides. Yeah, I am the one deciding. So what I want you to consider, and I just want to share some of my new recent affirmations around time is I'm writing an intention, and I also include in no time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In no time, this manifests with me, for me, right? And it just purely is God's time. Like purely, I detach from time completely. It doesn't mean that I don't write dates anymore when I write an intention. I still do, but I am so much more detached from the date than anything else. And that's probably just habit. I'm just used to writing my dates. But really, one of the things, and I tell people, if a date makes you feel restricted, then don't write it. If a date makes you feel like, oh my gosh, I need this to happen by this date, don't write a date at all, because you have gone into the part of attachment and association with time that's limiting. I write a date because I'm great at detaching from it needs to happen exactly in this time. I'm always open to any time sooner or perfect time, right? That's another one, in perfect time. Um, in no time, I include with speed. Like, why not? Why not ask with speed? Like, God, if you so decide, I am down for with speed. I also start to retrain my mind around time by saying, I command time. I command time. I take my time. And that is so, there are so many layers to that. It doesn't mean I'm going to go slow. It means I take back control of how I see time. I take it back. I take back the power that time has had over me. I take back my power with time. I take my time. It's my time. I take my time, right? Um, I love that you're all typing over here on Facebook. So I just wanted to, excuse me, just wanted to have this conversation to bring to your awareness more than anything how you are, excuse me, just how you are processing time. Because what I know to be true is that You're not thinking about it at all as part of your manifesting. You're just kind of like doing all the other parts. Excuse me. You're doing all the other parts, but you're not looking at, what do I think about how much time it's going to take? And that's why I want to bring that to your awareness this morning, so that you take your power back with time. I also want to like really celebrate. I want to really celebrate. There are so far, and I know this number is going to increase in the next coming days. There are 82 women, I looked as of last night, 82 women who said in the last 2 weeks, you know what? It's my time. This time right now is my time to step forward and get the support that I need to collapse time. I have waited 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years to express and experience my fullest version of myself, of me as a powerful woman, of me living the life of my dreams, of me experiencing and expressing wealth. I know I can have it. I know I can do all those things, but I have decided now it's my time now. And to those women, I just want to say congratulations publicly. I know we're going to do it in our group, but we are a massive family. And so, in the presence of everyone, I want to congratulate those of you that have said, it's my time. And if you are watching and you know you just did that, I literally want you to type an acknowledgement of that powerful decision that you have made for yourself. And I want you to type, thank you to me. Thank you to me. If you are one of the 82 women who recently said, yes, Tasha, I want you to take me on this journey and support me, because I don't want to take 5 more years, 10 more years. I don't want Tasha to be watching you 5 years from now and be in the same place that I am right now. I want to collapse time. And I know that I need support outside of myself, because I know all of these things to be true, but I'm not seeing the results in my life. And so those of you that said, yes, I see Kiki, I see Suzanne, Lakeisha, Tanya, oh my gosh, thank you to me. And I really want you to feel that. Tashna, thank you to me. That is such a powerful move on your part, that you literally stood up in the face of time and said, it's my time. And I am taking control of my time and getting the support that I need. It's time for me to collapse time. No more waiting. And I just want to really, really acknowledge you. And those of you that are watching and see all of these women that have said yes, congratulate them. Stand for each other. Stand. And if you know, I want that to be me, then declare it. Reach out to me. Be part of this group. Don't wait. Someone messaged us this morning and said, I really want to go forward because I heard, Tasha, this is the last time that you're teaching this program. And I thought to myself, well, thank God you saw that, because if you reach out 4 months from now or 6 months from now, then the opportunity to have me leading the program would have passed you, because you waited for time, right? You allowed time to take control of that situation, and you keep thinking everything's going to stay the same. There are people who met me years ago, right, when this program was a quarter of the price that it is right now. And as we've put more things into it and added mentors and done all of that, think about that person who met me, I don't know, several years ago, and the price of the program was a quarter of what it is today, but they kept waiting, right? Now the price is 4 times more, and in a few months, I won't be teaching the program again. So with time, things change. You actually give up controlling your life and the circumstances and the situations of your life, the more you allow time to pass. So I just want to encourage you and say, whether it's joining my program, whether it's taking action on something significant in your life, your time is now. This moment, do it now, today, for the sake of your future self that is just longing for you to take that action. And for those of you, I love it. Congratulations, beautiful, wealthy women. It's our time. Thank you, Zashna. So I want to say also that we have, as you know, one of our big things here in our family is we love allowing you to. I have to type this. Give me a second. We love making things easy for you, and so I was reminded that we need to activate our reminder system. So I know so many of you are signed up to get our reminders every Monday morning, every time I go live, everything we're doing, every time we're doing something, you get notified immediately. But it's a system that has a time span. Funny, we're talking about time. And so it expires. So every single person watching, whether you think you're signed up for this or not, go ahead and type the word reminder in the comments this morning. Type the word reminder because it will give you the chance to see if you need to reactivate it or not. And what happens when you type the word reminder, you check Facebook Messenger and you will be signing up to a system that just notifies you every single time, gives you the direct links, sends you exactly where you need to go, gives you downloads when we have downloads, when we're giving away PDFs and giving things away. You'll be first to be notified, but you have to be part of the system. So type the word reminder, check Facebook Messenger, and make sure that you say yes and you're enrolled for all the things. My husband loves that. That's his new favorite thing. You wife, you say all the things for all the things. Make sure you'll be reminded for all the things. With that, I love you. I so thought this was going to be like a 10-minute conversation this morning, but so it was not. I love you all. I hope that this was valuable. I really hope you sit for just 2 minutes when this live ends and ask yourself, what have I been thinking about time and wealth and success and the things that I want in my life? How have I won't say the word wasted time. I won't say that, but how have I given away control of my time in such a way that it's taken a long time? And how do I want to change that moving forward? All right. Have a great week, everyone.